Good evening. I'm Enari Darklor and welcome to Churikua. This story has been passed down in my family for several generations. We are from Guadalajara, Jalisco, although many dismiss the story as mere fantasy or family folklore. The truth is that there is a lot of truth to it. At least, that's how I feel. This story dates back to my great grandparents. If I recall correctly, their names were Doña Refugio and Don Anatolio in 1880. They lived where the civil hospital stands today. Back then, it was common to have a pet, and in this case, they had a dog whom they loved dearly. People in the neighborhood began finding dead dogs and cats, which started to worry the residents, including Doña Refugio and Don Anatolio. At first, they thought it was some creature roaming at night and killing the animals. Doña Refugio and Don Anatolio's fear was that it would now attack not only animals but also people. That fear came true a couple of weeks later. People began turning up dead, including drunks returning home at night and night workers, and on one occasion, even the night watchman. All of them had 2 holes in their necks and were drained of blood until someone finally dared to suggest it was a vampire. They took advantage of the mass and, with the priest's permission, invited everyone interested in safeguarding and protecting themselves to attend a meeting on the church grounds. A man who was a foreign, Don Rafael, but had put down roots here, spoke up and advised several of those concerned about the nature of this being, since he knew them very well. Once there, he explained in detail that they had to gather on the agreed open day, and they to patrol the streets at night with torches and wooden stakes. What is happening here is that a vampire is robbing us for our peace and security. It has taken our dogs, cats, and even our loved ones. This creature feeds on blood and possesses eternal life, but like all beings, it is vulnerable. It dies when struck in the heart with a wooden stake. I ask that we do this to restore the peace and tranquility that God has given us and the vampire has stolen from us. With that, Don Anatolio and 5 other men set to work making enough stakes to go hunt it down some days before. Doña Refugio waited at home, protecting the children and the dog with a machete in hand just in case. But the dog senses danger and ran out of the house. Doña Refugio called out to him, but there was no answer. She could only hear his whimpering in the distance. With her heart in her throat, she had no choice but to go inside and protect her children. When the time of the encounter arrived, they were all gathered together. They organized themselves to patrol the streets, combing through the entire neighborhood until there he was. In the group with Don Anatolio and 3 other men, along with Don Rafael, they caught the man just as he was killing a dog that was somewhat familiar to Don Anatolio, his own dog. It was unsettling to see that the figure, the vampire, was a foreign, handsome, tall, slender, and with an elegant bearing that was hard to forget. But his blood-spattered mouth turned that astonishment into outrage. The men tied him up and beat him. When he was disorientated, Don Rafael dropped the wooden stake into his chest. Once the vampires stopped screaming, they tied him up tightly. Two of the men carried him carefully to a cart, while Don Anatolio picked up his dog and took it home, which was just a few meters from where the confrontation with the vampire had taken place. Doña Refugio hugged him, and they left the dog at home to bury it. That day, all the neighbors who were able to attend the gathering at the Belen cemetery, they had already prepared the grave in which they buried the vampire, bound with a stake through his chest. The grave and tombstones were extremely heavy, as Don Rafael had instructed years past, and they realized that a Camachin's stake had turned into a tree that grew at the foot of the grave. They feared the vampire might escape, but he did not. No one dared to desecrate the grave for fear that the vampire would escape. Some people said that if you cut a piece of the tree, you would see blood instead of sap, the vampire's blood inside it. On his deathbed, Raphael asked that they care for and watch over the tree, because the day it fell would be the day the vampire returned. His words continue to echo to this day. Some curious people went to the tree to cut it down to see if it bled, or with intention of desecrating the grave. So it was decided to fence off the grave to protect everyone. Will I, when my time comes, enjoy peace and tranquility for my loved ones? Or will I be among the unfortunate ones to see the tree fall and witness the consequences of its fall? Only time will tell.